Hi everybody, my name is Max and I'm one of the trainers and owner at Ready Set Train. In today's video we're going to go over two additional loose leash walking exercises. One is an exercise we call red light, green light. Another is something we call reversal. So this will be part of our loose leash walking series of videos. So you can go ahead and click somewhere around here and you can see the full series, the full list of videos. You can also check out our basic behavior series of videos as well, and that would be good to watch. So you have a couple of foundation exercises for this loose leash walking. So what we're going to talk about first is an exercise we call red light, green light. So the most important thing with loose leash walking is we want to pay attention to the tension on the leash. If our dog has tension on the leash, if they are pulling us, we don't want to move forward. That's the number one rule that we want to follow. Every step that we take that there's tension on the leash, that the dog is pulling us, and we go towards the things that the dog wants to get to, the dog is learning that that pulling behavior works. So we really want the dog to think that tension is bad. That when I feel tension on the leash, that means I'm not going to move forward. I'm stopping, or I'm getting taken away from the things that I was trying to get to. So tension on the leash is what we're going to pay attention to. And then for the red light, green light exercise, a red light is any time that we start to notice tension developing on the leash, the dog getting too far out in front of us. We're going to immediately stop when we notice those types of behaviors happening. And a green light is a loose leash. The dog is paying attention to us. There's no tension. The leash is slack. Ideally, we would really like, as Icy is checking herself out here, we would like a nice J in the leash. So something like this. So we're going to start practicing. I'm going to have the leash over my left wrist. I'm going to have the clicker in my, leash over my right wrist, the clicker in my right hand. I'm going to do a finish to get Icy at my side. And we're going to start with a high rate of reinforcement with her walking next to us. So you can check out our other video that we use some cones to start practicing a high rate of reinforcement. That's a good video to watch before this to get some foundations of where to reward your dog and what's the high rate of reinforcement that we need when we start. So I'm going to do a finish behavior, get her at my side, click, and we're going to start to walk. I'm going to have a really high rate of reinforcement at first. Every couple of steps that I take, I'm popping a treat down at my side and I'm rewarding Icy. I'm trying not to hold the treats right out in front of her face. If I'm doing this, then she's not thinking about walking as much. So I'm taking those treats, I'm holding them up. I could even not have any treats in my hand if I wanted to. And then I'm just practicing walking around. So turning to the left, turning to the right, speeding up, slowing down. I'm always placing those treats at my side. If I'll stop rewarding for a second to show a red light, but if there's a point where Icy gets too far out in front, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to move forward. When she checks back in with me, I'm going to get her to come to my side. I'm going to start to walk, and then I'm going to reward again. So what we don't want to do is the second the dog comes back to our side, we don't want to reinforce right away. We want to start to move again, start to get some good loose leash walking, and then we're going to move forward. So Icy got a little bit out in front. I stop. She checks back in. I get her to come back to my side. We start moving again. The reason that we don't want to reinforce right after the dog was pulling is we can accidentally create an effect where the dog learns to go to the end of the leash and pull, come back and get a treat. Go to the end of the leash and pull, come back and get a treat. So we want to try to disassociate the bad behavior of pulling with any kind of reward. So as we're walking, I'm watching what Icy is doing. Is she getting too far out in front of me? I'm going to stop proactively. When I start to notice her head is more than maybe a foot or so in front, when I start to see the leash is starting to get tight, that's when I'm stopping. I want the second she feels tension, I'm not moving forward. And then over time, what I'm doing is I'm starting to space out reinforcement. So I'm not clicking every step. I'm trying to get farther and farther. So this is the red light, green light portion of this. Red light, stop if the dog is starting to get out in front. Green light, move forward, reward the dog while they're at your side. The other exercise that we're going to talk about is a reversal. And I will use this if the dog is excessively pulling me towards something that they really want to get to. The majority of the time, I'm just going to do the red light, green light. I'm just going to stop when they pull, when they check back in, get them to come to my side, start walking again. But if there's a point where your dog is like yanking you over to the tree or the smell or the thing that they want to try to get to and they won't stop, at that point, what we want to do is, I'll try to get Icy to pull towards something. So I'll show her the treat here. I'm going to toss it out and she's going to pull to get to it. If she continues to try to pull towards that treat and won't stop, what I want to do is, we'll try to line her up here so I can have you guys see it a little bit better. She's pulling towards that food. She's pulling towards that food. She's not stopping. I want to pivot away and walk in the opposite direction. So by turning away from the dog, you are going to be able to get them to disengage from that thing. So we're going up. Icy's pulling me. She's pulling me. She's not checking in. I pivot away and we walk away from that thing. So if the dog isn't stopping, then you want to walk away from the thing that they continue to pull you towards. So that is a reversal. You turn off of the opposite leg to the side that the dog is walking on. So if Icy's on my left, I'm turning off my right leg and turning away from the dog, going in the opposite direction. Turning the dog to the side will snap them out of what's called oppositional reflex. We don't ever want to pull straight back on the leash because that can actually cause more pulling behavior. So these are 2 additional exercises that you can practice: red light, green light, and a reversal. So be sure to check out our full series on loose leash walking videos. Check out our basic behavior series. We also are a fully functioning training company, so if you would like training services, private in-home training, group classes, dog walking, go to our website, www.readysettraindogs.com, and you can see our full list of services there. So thank you so much for watching. Happy training. Learn some foundation behaviors that you can use with your dog. She's doing the worm. Okay. Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Max and I am, what am I?
Every time.
It's our marker.
Yeah, you're good.